Hey folks, welcome back to another video. In this video, I work on my 1937 Caterpillar RD4 transmission. In the words of Jeremy Clarkson, hello and welcome. Welcome back to the show. So, in this video, we're going to be back to working on this RD4, 1937 Caterpillar RD4. And just to kind of get everybody up to speed on this project, I haven't made videos about this for a while. This is a 1937 RD4 that I got a year or two ago. Drove it around a little bit, and then the transmission ended up spitting a bearing, and the bearing went through the gears, and it was a whole mess. So if you want to see all those videos, I will put a link for the playlist. There's the word I was looking for. So, as you see, it's completely torn apart, and if you want to see those videos, you can go ahead and head to the RD4 playlist. But right here, we're going back together with everything. That don't look scary at all. And my jack is stuck. There we go. Vacuum that dirt out of there. It's been sitting outside all winter. A wire brush off this. You see this this surface rust on here. Now that that's clean, let's get this cross shaft put in. So I had to fiddle with it a bit to get these collars that set the bearing tolerances to sit down how they should. Okay, cross shaft is set in. Now let's go to the big shop and press the new bearings onto our shafts. Alright, so we have all our gears here at the shop, and I gotta press these bearings off because I have all new OEM Caterpillar bearings. I have the stub shaft set up in the press here. And so this is the part where usually, you'd need some safety gear or whatever. But if you wear a camera, you have plot armor. So I don't need any safety. I could put my hand in here and still be fine, because camera guy never gets hurt. Ooh, that's moving easy. Nice. That's moving easy. Oops. There we go. There's our old bearing. Listen to that thing. Crispy. There we go. We'll wipe this out and we'll push the new bearing in. Wipe it out nice. New bearing. This spacer's a little wonky, so we might have to play with it a bit here. I wonder if that... Let's run it straight down and see. That might be the exact size. set it like that. Okay, I have an idea. That should press everything all down nice and tight again. Well, there it is. Brand new bearing. Notice how there's no noise? That's how bearings are supposed to sound. Alright, we got the pinion and pinion gear shaft in here now. So we're going to press that pinion bearing off. There we go, that's the top shaft of the transmission with the pinion. Alright, we'll press this pinion bearing out of the pinion bearing housing. There's our pinion bearing. She's in crispy condition. New pinion bearing. Look at that thing. New pinion bearing is on pinion. Alright, so as you saw, we got all the new bearings pressed on to all the new gizzards. So now it is time to put those gizzards back in the transmission. Alright, let's get this lower shaft installed into our main housing now. Lastly, this washer. Almost need a mallet. Alright, well that took a bit of tinkering, but this lower shaft is now in. That spins a whole lot better than it used to. So now we got to put the upper pinion shaft in. Alright, so I just realized I did a boo-boo. This is what happens when you're away from a project for too long and then you forget how things go. So on our pinion shaft, this flange here, this needs to be flipped. This flange should be to the rear. So I'm going to have to go back to the press and flip that around. It should be like, so the flange should be back here. And I'll show you guys on the old one like this. So, yeah, that's fun. All right, now that that's fixed, let's get this upper pinion shaft installed. Defty. I am the crane, just in case anybody was wondering. Get up here so I can have some better leverage and less back pain. And then I think this drops in this way first. Yeah, there we go. Like that. We'll just... Okay, we're getting close to where I'm going to set the shim pack in and put some more bolts in it. There's our shim pack. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what that shim pack does for us. I'm guessing it sets pinion depth. Alright folks, so I ended up losing the footage where I set the pinion backlash and cross shaft thrust play. So, got this set, got our pinion backlash down here set, 35 thousandths. This backlash back and forth is set to 0. It is much more stiff to turn now. So now that that's done, our next line of work is going to be to put that horseshoe cover on here. And I have the cover over here, right there. And that's our horseshoe cover. But I gotta make the gaskets that go in these grooves. So I got this big sheet of 1/4-inch cork gasket material. Ordered it off of McMaster's website. Super cheap. This whole thing only cost me 18 bucks. I'm still surprised by that. So now I gotta practice my artistic side and try to cut all the gaskets out of this here sheet. So we'll see you at the cutting bench. Alright, so for making our gaskets, I can easily trace these ones out. That's gonna be no problem. But I'm trying to think how I'm gonna get this. And I have an idea. Alright, so my idea is I'm going to cut a section of this. Bring this over here. I'm going to hold it up on here like that, and then I'm going to smack it with a hammer and hopefully it leaves an imprint. Oh, I fucked it. It did leave an imprint, but I let it slide down, so we're going to have to redo that. Still nothing. Alright, well that method isn't going to work then. Our other method is to trace the old ones. But as you can see, this old one is squished out, so it's bigger than it's supposed to be. So what I'm going to do is trim that off. Alright. Trim that off. Now we have a size, but it is a little inconsistent. But we'll just put that on here. And I'll trace it out. to the best of my artistic ability. So there's what we got, and that is very inconsistent. But I have an idea. So with a little bit of struggling and retracing, I got it to work. Look at that, it's almost beautiful. Now we just gotta cut one more. All right, now it is time for the goopening, and I got the goop. This is where things are gonna get really messy. Okay, I had to re-goop the goopinator. How much goop? All of it. So much goop. Now that that is gooped, we gotta do an external layer. So goop, 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 goop. That right there, good. Goop the heckin' out of this too. Goop this. Should be good and properly gooped. Let's see, short end goes forward, I think. Immediately gets stuck. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, that is a lot of goop. So I'm going to get this tightened down, and then we're going to go to editing while all of this silicone sits here and dries. And then our next thing, we're going to put the brakes on, mount the drums to the final drives, and then we can put all the steering clutch linkage in here, and then we will be putting the engine on. So little by little, it'll look like a dozer again. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out. The algorithm likes it. And leave a comment. What do you think about our 1937 RD4 here? So, yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.